room.
Well, we hope that Bonham can come up with another good one against his club and get us a split in this doubleheader with 2 more big games coming up in the series. Terry Whitfield. He batted second in the Giants scheme of things in the first game. He's a leadoff batter in game number 2. Went 1 for 5 with a run scored, had a single. Vic Correll behind the plate hangs aside as Bonham sends in the pitch, and Whitfield lines one to Danny Driessen for the out, and game number 2 is underway. Danny Driessen figuring in both outs, both leadoff outs to the 2-ball games. Jim Dwyer hit a rocket shot at him that he dug out to gain the put out on in the first game, and now Whitfield lines to him on the first pitch in game number 2. Second baseman Rob Andrews batting at .242 with no homers and 5 RBIs. Utilized as a pinch runner and remained in the game to play second base late in the first one. Driessen, Morgan, Concepcion, and Rose in the Cincinnati infield at first, second, short, and third. Foster left, Lum center, Griffey right. Pitch is high inside. Andrews leaning away, and a good thing he did. Ball 1. Bonham, 8 wins and 2 losses in making his 15th start. He has a .334 earned run average. That's low. Ball 2. 2-0. On deck, right fielder Jack Clark. That's a change. It's over on the inside corner for a called strike. Giants won the first game without the services of their leading hitter, Billy Madlock. Madlock suffering some loose teeth and 5 stitches in his mouth. There's a ground ball wide of first. Driessen backhands. He'll beat Andrews to the bag for the second out. Home plate collision yesterday at Candlestick involving Madlock and San Diego catcher Dave Roberts, and Bill came out much the worst of the two, so he's out for both games, and they hope that he'll be back at second base tomorrow night. 2 away for Jackie Clark. Continued his fine hitting with a couple of singles in the opener, now batting at .309. Clark has a 9-game hitting streak, and Bonham starts him off with a change. It's in for a strike. Whitfield is lined to first. Andrews is bounced to first. This one bounces up there to the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll be going at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Plenty of seats available for that game and the wrap-up here on Sunday. And it'll be Freddie Norman against John Montefusco in game number 3. 2 balls and a strike. And Sunday, either Tommy Hume or Paul Mosco will be doing the pitching for Cincinnati. And the San Francisco starter will be hard-throwing right-hander Ed Halicki. Swung on and hit hard. Knocked down by Concepcion. Davey got his glove on it. The ball rolling into shallow left field. So Clark becomes a 2-out base runner, and they score without a base hit. Jack has now hit in 10 straight games. And the inning continues for third baseman Darrell Evans. All kinds of groups enjoy the fun and excitement of Cincinnati Reds baseball. Suggest a group outing to the ball game to the social chairman of your club or organization. Clark singles into left off the glove of Dave Concepcion. Bonham will throw to first. Darrell Evans hit a 2-run home run in the first game. His 8th home run of the year, is only hit in 5 times up. Another throw to first. Harry Gregg calling balls and strikes. Billy Williams at first. Dick Stello second. Spanky Fremming at third. Top of the first inning, 2 out, a runner aboard at first base, and now as Bonham stretches, Evans steps away from the plate. Now the pitch on the outside edge for a strike. There's a throw to first again. Jackie Clark getting back to the bag. Jack named today of the National League All-Star team by manager Tom Lasorda. So too was red shortstop Davey Concepcion. Up and away, a pitch out, 1-1. So David will be joining Tom Seaver, Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, George Foster. That's a strike call, 1-2. And Johnny Bench. The Reds will have 4 starters in that game at San Diego Stadium. Bench behind the plate, Morgan second, Rose third, and Foster at one of the outfield spots, probably right field. Bonham ahead of ball, 2 strikes. The left-handed batting Darrell Evans. And here it comes. It's up and away, a fastball, 2-2. Vic Correll and Bill Bonham will get together midway between the plate and the mound as they talk over the situation. And on deck is first baseman Mike Ivie. 2-2 with 2 out. There's a throw to first, and they almost had him leaning. He may have had Clark going had Bonham come to the plate. Jack was able to get back just ahead of the Danny Driessen tag. Now the stretch and the pitch. Ground ball, shortstop. David on to first base with his throw to get Evans and end the inning. No runs, 1 hit. No Reds errors, and a man left on after a half inning of play in game number 2. The Giants nothing, and the Reds are coming up.
Some people wonder why spend money on replacement windows when they already have good windows in their home. Well, maybe some of these New Sash customer letters will help you understand why. Dear Mr. Johnson, I wondered about spending money on New Sash windows, but my reservations are now gone. My wife thinks they're beautiful and very easy to clean. But the amazing thing is that we keep the thermostat on 65 degrees all winter long, and our furnace only comes on 4 or 5 times a day instead of 10 or 15 times as in the past. Thank you. Our New Sash windows are paying for themselves. If fuel savings are important to you this winter, give Bill Johnson a call at 267-8396. New Sash is the only window with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. And New Sash replacement windows are custom made for a perfect fit. Call Bill Johnson at 267-8396 and let him show you how to save up to 30% or more in heating costs. That 24-hour number again, 267-8396. Always ask for the original New Sash.
The Reds' big salute to the agriculture industry is coming up next Saturday, July 15th. There'll be lots of pregame fun, and afterward, more than $25,000 in prizes will be awarded, including 2 Ford pickup trucks, an International Harvester tractor, DeKalb XL 72B seed corn, Landmark feed and fertilizer worth $500, patio furniture from Early and Daniels, and lots more. Be on hand. Plenty of seats available. And if you can't attend in person, send a postcard with your name and address to be received before the July 15th drawing to Farmers Night, Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati. Pete Rose, 22 straight games he's hit in. After getting 3 hits in the first game, he takes a strike from Barr. And this one is low for a ball. Rose's batting average now is at an even 300. And boy, what a tear this man has been on. He has now hit in more games consecutively than anybody in the National League this season. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled away. Barr has not faced Cincinnati this season, but does own a winning record in his career against the Reds. 9 victories and 7 losses. On the year, he's 4-5. 12 starts, 13 appearances, 3 complete games, and a .249 earned run average. He's been caught up in this tremendous pitching by the Giants. Swinging a foul ball. It's off the plate. So Pete with 104 base hits. Ken Griffey with a 105. They're running 1-2 in the hit parade, and George Foster went up over 100 in the first game with 3. Here's a shot foul down the left field line and out of play. And Pete just protecting the plate as Barr throws strikes, and that he will do. Reds captain back in there as Barr looks to battery-made Marc Hill. Kicks and fires inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ivie at first, Andrews at second, at third is Evans, at shortstop Metzger, Whitfield, Herndon, and Clark. Across the outfield from left to right. That's a Giant defense. Ball 3 is high, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pete out of the box. He climbs back in as Barr gets set to deal the payoff pitch to him. And here it is. That is grounded to shortstop. Metzger on the second, hop up, throwing, and out at first base. It turned out to be a fairly close play because Pete was digging hard down the line. Well, with 1 out and no score, in the bottom of the first inning, Ken Griffey will be the Cincinnati hitter. And he went 2 for 4 in the first game with a run batted in, jumping his batting average 3 points to 313. Hitting for a long time was a big Cincinnati problem. Here's a hard ground to the short. Metzger throwing, 2 out. Both outs have gone 6-3. Well, the club comes up with 13 hits in the first game, but can't get the effective pitching as they fall 7-6. Morgan in. Joe did not start in game number 1, did come on as a pinch hitter and stayed in to play second. He's batting .258. Up and in, ball 1. Joe still looking for home run number 9 on the year. He swings and hammers one foul past first base and on down into the right field foul area. Ball finally picked up by the outfielder Jackie Clark. 1-1. Barr trying to retire the side in order. Morgan takes, and that's a strike. Next home run Joe hits will be his 200th career home run. He swings and lines one right to the second baseman Andrews, who reached quickly above his head to play it. 1, 2, 3, no runs, no hits, and nobody left on after 1. The Reds and the Giants, no score.
You know, different folks have different ways to spend their time, enjoy their days. Me, I like to fish. I really do. Well, there's something good about a lazy creek. Helps me relax from a long, hard week like my Red Fox chewing tobacco, the relaxing chew. Well, it's soft and moist and mild for sure. The flavor's fresh. The taste is pure. Red Fox is best. I like it. Yes, I do. So I keep me an extra pouch of Red Fox by my side in my tackle box. When it comes to tobacco, those Red Fox folks come through. Why don't you try Red Fox? Look for it in the white pouch with a picture of Old Red taking it easy. Red Fox chewing tobacco. Now it's better than ever. So if you like to relax, and I'll bet you do, settle down with a Red Fox chew, because mister, taking it easy never tasted so good. Red Fox.
Inning number 2 about to unfold. It'll be Ivie, Herndon, and Metzger parading their talents to the plate against the righty Bill Bonham, who served up a 2-out base hit to Clark in the opening inning, but then ended it with an Evans ground out to shortstop. Nothing in as yet on the Dodger-Houston ball game. San Diego, Atlanta scoreless at the end of 2, and Montreal scoreless in the top of the first at Philadelphia. Terry Poole, Willie Stargell, Ted Simmons, Bob Boone, Davy Lopes, Ron Say, Reggie Smith, Jeff Burrows, Jack Clark, Dave Winfield, Davy Concepcion. The National League selections announced by All-Star manager Tommy Lasorda today. Here's Ivie. He fouls it back. As things turned out, Mike Ivie had the base hit that drove in the winning run for the Giants in the first game, and that was a pinch hit double off Sarmiento in the 8th inning that drove across Marc Hill, who had doubled across Roger Metzger. Inside, a ball and a strike. This guy has done some kind of job. Made no secret of the fact that he was disenchanted with the way he was being treated at San Diego. Not that I thought he was being treated badly, but he did. And they could not come to terms of Mike being happy to play in that city, so he was traded on to the Giants, and they have been very glad to have him. Swing and a foul. 1-2. Batting .338, 5 homers and 31 RBIs. He's hit a couple of pinch hit grand slam home runs this season. Checks his swing on a pitch just off the plate. 2-2. Bonham into his windup, his break-even pitch. Ivie takes it low and away. Ball 3. Ivie back in and waiting on the payoff pitch. He swings and chops it foul as it rolls on toward the San Francisco dugout. Three balls, 2 strikes. Even after the first game win, the Giants have still dropped 6 out of their last 10 games. This one foul back. Of course, Atlanta pretty much took them to the cleaners last weekend, beating them 3 out of 4. They then went home and really had to battle against the San Diego Padres to split that series. 3-2 pitch again. Ivie strikes out swinging. And we'll pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
For Cincinnati Reds baseball in the capital city, listeners tune in FM 100 WRMZ, Columbus, Ohio, for every Cincinnati Reds baseball game.
Mike Ivie has struck out to kick off the Giants' second inning. Here's Larry Herndon, the center fielder, who fouls a pitch back. Herndon has also been a big surprise. He's batting .292. 1 ball and a strike. Former product of the Cardinals organization. No homers and 23 RBIs this season. Curveball at the knees. Good pitch thrown by Bill. Strike call. In the 4th at Cleveland, Boston 3-1 over the Indians. Red Sox looking for their 4th consecutive win. Fastball outside, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Bill Bonham. Here's shortstop Roger Metzger. This reminder, 2 community nights are coming up at Riverfront in the next couple of weeks. Next Thursday is Mount Washington night, when the Reds play the Mets, and Tuesday, July 18th, is Mount Airy night, when the Reds and the Expos get together. Well, you folks in those particular areas of our city, make note of that. Mount Airy night, next Thursday night, the opening game of the series with the Mets. Fouled off by Metzger, and then on the 18th of July, the Reds and the Expos, Mount Airy night. Metzger with a 3-for-4 first game, a double, a couple of singles. Check swing on a curve in on his hands. 1-1. Bases empty with 2 down. Strikeouts of Ivie and Herndon. And the 1-1 to Metzger is hit into right center field, and that will fall for a hit. Griffey is there, and here comes Lum cutting it off, and Metzger had an idea momentarily of maybe trying to go to second base as Lum cut in front of Griffey to play the ball. And with Mike Lum's momentum carrying him toward the right field line. But Metzger settles for the base hit, and here's Marc Hill. Hill single and double in 4 trips with a run batted in the first game. He's now hitting at .222. Bonham driving Metzger back to the bag with a throw to first base. Long pause, pitch, strike call. Look at the American League standings right now. You talk about a log jam in a division. Check out League West, California leads by a half game over Oakland, by 1 over Texas, by a game and a half over Kansas City. Line drive, hit right field. Metzger comes to second, takes a turn. He's going to stop as Griffey pumps the throw towards second base. And played by Dave Concepcion. So back-to-back hits after 2 men had been retired by Metzger and Hill. And Jim Barr will step in with a chance to help his own cause. After that, for some of the Angels, the A's, the Rangers, and the Royals, you've got Chicago only a 5.5 back. The Twins only 5.5 back. Seattle in the basement 15 out. In the Eastern Division, you could call that a laugher right now. Boston with a 10-game lead over the Yankees and 10.5 game advantage over Milwaukee, 11.5 over Baltimore. 2 men on, 2 men out. Scoreless in the second. The pitcher, Jim Barr, at the plate. As Bonham looks to Correll and pitches to Barr. Curve outside. Barr's had 3 hits and 22 trips and an RBI this season. He fouls this one back upstairs, and it's a ball and 1 strike. Bonham can win this game, and boy, we need one to gain a split in the twin bill. He will join Tom to winning his pitchers on the staff with 9 victories. Curve hangs high and tight, 2-1. Metzger single to right center. Hill followed that with a hit to right. And Bonham working, swung on, line drive, right field. That's a hit. Here comes Metzger. Here comes Griffey's throw, and now they hold the runner up. The throw comes to Vic Correll. Metzger had ideas of coming onto the plate, but Griffey charged it quickly and came up firing, and Dave Bristol holds him at third base, and the bases are loaded for Terry Whitfield. He lined out to Danny Driessen in the first inning to get the game underway. So Bonham in a 2-out jam with the sacks loaded. High and outside, a ball. That's high, 2 balls and no strikes on Terry Whitfield. Guy's hit a couple of home runs off of us this season among the 5 he struck total. He bounces slowly towards second. Morgan is up with the ball. Quick throw and got him at first base to end the inning. The Giants threaten, but that's all. No runs, a trio of hits, and 3 left. In the middle of the second, the Reds nothing and the Giants nothing.
When you want to know the ones you love and the things you love will always be secure. Make friends with tomorrow. Range Insurance, to be sure.
Every business executive tries to hedge against inflation. Many succeed by purchasing real estate. Your Grange agent offers this caution. As real estate values increase, so should insurance coverage. Homes purchased for $30,000 a few years back now may sell in the 60s. Unfortunately, some owners have not added extra insurance coverage. This could be bad news in the event of a heavy loss. So make friends with tomorrow. Guard against inflation today. Call Grange agent.
There's nothing like the feeling that you get when you know you're safe now and secure. Protected by Grange Mutual. Grange Insurance, to be sure.
Coming to Riverfront Stadium this weekend or during this homestand? If so, we want to remind you that you can purchase tickets for all upcoming Reds home games throughout the remainder of the season while you're at the ball game. The advanced ticket window at the stadium is open before, during, and after every Reds home game. It's located behind home plate on the Green Plaza level. By the way, if you know someone who's going to be at Riverfront, You might want to ask him to stop by and pick up your seats for future dates. Middle third of our batting order. Here in the bottom of the second inning. Nothing affair up to this point, but Bill Bonham had to get Whitfield on a bounce out to second to lead the Giants with the bases loaded in the top of the inning. George Foster with 3 hits in the first game, all singles, and his ground out in the ninth got a run in, giving him 62 RBIs on the season, and he now has taken over leadership from Giants right fielder Jack Clark. Barr with a pitch, and Foster takes a strike. This is a guy who normally will not give up too many home runs, Jim Barr. Strike 2 is called. He has allowed but 2 in 77 and 1/3 innings. Piece of cellophane-type paper blowing out to the third base side of the mound, and Jim Barr puts a big right hand on it to wrap it up. No balls, 2 strikes. Foster behind with Driessen on deck. High and away, 1-2. Swung on and hit in the air. Shallow left center. Metzger going out. Whitfield coming in, and Terry Whitfield makes the catch as Metzger goes down to avoid any possible collision that might have come about. So Foster out, and now Danny Driessen as Jim Barr has retired the first 4 batters to face him. Danny went 1 for 5 in the opener, batting .291. 10 homers and 43 RBIs. Takes it high and tight. Curve ball outside, ball 2. Giants, for the most part this season, have been going with a 4-man pitching rotation, of which Barr was not included. Bouncer foul. Nepper, Halicki, Montefusco, and Blue. Being Jim's 12th start of the season. Two balls, 1 strike. Check swing, and that's strike 2 call. Barr back even with Driessen at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Davey will be up next. And the break-even pitch is just outside for a full count. Well, one of the many graduates of Rod Dato's successful baseball program at Southern California University. Bouncer off the first base side. That's a foul ball.
Attention, sir. Here's a report from the Reds clubhouse. Manny Sarmiento, who was hit above the left elbow in the first game, has been taken to Christ Hospital for precautionary x-rays. Cesar Geronimo is out of the lineup with a bruised left hip.
3-2 pitch again.
His injury was a bruised right shin.
And another foul ball. I've just gotten a report. Manny Sarmiento, who was struck above the left elbow in the first game on that line drive off Terry Whitfield's bat, has been taken to Christ Hospital for precautionary x-rays. Cesar Geronimo out of the lineup in game 2 because of a bruised left hip. 3-2 pitch. Bounce to second. Andrews on to Ivie. 2 out. Dave Concepcion will step in. Davey was on base 3 times through walks in game number 1. Officially, he went 0 for 2. Now hitting at .290. 2 homers and 34 runs batted in. Barr to the plate, and David takes outside. These two clubs have now met 10 times. The Reds with the seasonal advantage, 6 victories to 4 for the Giants. This one fouled off, and 2-2 against this team here at Riverfront Stadium. One pitch. Davey shortens up as if to bunt, but takes it up. 2 balls and a strike. Two outs. Nobody on here in the bottom of the second. We are scoreless in game 2 after the Giants pulled off a 7-6 first game victory. This one fouled off the end of the bat. Right side. If you're planning to be with us tomorrow night or Sunday or both days, final 2 games before we move to the All-Star break. Plenty of seats available for the 7 o'clock beginning tomorrow night and the 2:15 start here on Sunday. Swung on and fouled off again. So Barr throwing strikes and David wasting them with foul balls. Two pitch. Swung on, hit into right center field. That ball's got a chance of getting in there. It does, as it bounces over the wall on one big hop. That's going to be a ground rule double for Dave Concepcion on a shot to the alley in right center, getting through both Herndon and Clark. So Davey is double for the 19th time this season, and that brings up Mike Lum to see what he can do about getting him in. First hit and first base runner for the Reds. Lum, a .294 batter with 3 homers and 12 RBIs. Starting in place of Geronimo in center field in this one. He swings and pops it up. That's going to be played by Andrews in shallow right, and that's the inning. In the second for Cincinnati, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on. After 2, the Reds nothing, and the Giants likewise.
The time is right, that feeling's coming through. Real beer lovers know only one beer will do. Stroh's for the real beer lovers. Stroh's taste like no other. Stroh's for the real beer lover. Everybody knows it's the beer lover's beer. It's family brewed for over 200 years. Real beer lovers say they go out of their way for a Stroh's. Stroh's for the real beer lovers. Stroh's taste like no other. Stroh's for the real beer lover. From one beer lover to another Stroh's. Stroh's, the Stroh Brewery Company, Detroit, Michigan.
Well, 2 scoreless innings have gone by in our nightcap tonight, and we'll have Rob Andrews to lead it off for the San Francisco Giants. Here to call the play-by-play, Joe Nuxall.
All right, Marty. Andrews up for the second time in the game. In the first inning, bounds to Danny Driessen at first base. Rob hitting .242. He has driven in 5 runs, 3 doubles and 2 triples. Giants have had 4 hits off Bill Bonham, 1 in the first and 3 in the second after 2 out to load the bases, but did not score, of course. Bonham winds and delivers, and Andrews swings and a ground ball to Concepcion is short. Dave's throw to Driessen, 1 out. One away, and the batter, Jack Clark. Jack, a base hit to left in the first inning. Jack now hitting .311, came into the doubleheader hitting .308. He had a couple of hits in the first game. Bonham winds his pitch. Clark swings, fly ball, center field. Mike Lum moving toward right center is there waiting, and he has it quickly 2 away. Two down. That'll bring first to the third baseman, Darrell Evans, to the plate. Darrell grounded to Concepcion in the first inning. Darrell, a big home run for the Giants in the first game, a 2-run shot in the fifth inning. That was his 8th of the year. He now has 38 RBIs. Bonham winds, and a strike at the knees, a fastball. Bill back to the plate. That's going outside. 1-1 to Evans. 2 out, the bases empty, no score as the Giants bat here in the third. Evans swings and a foul outside the first base bag. 1-2. Boston leading Cleveland 4-3 in the American League fifth inning. Toronto at Chicago, no score second. Baltimore at Kansas City, no score in the second. 1-2 delivery, swung on, and a soft liner that Pete Rose picks off, leaning off to his left. Well, that's the inning, and the Giants out in order. Middle of the third, San Francisco nothing, Cincinnati nothing.
There's a big M sign round the corner, down the road and up the street. And there's a friend of mine round that corner, someone you all know and someone you'd be glad to meet.
You know, there's a special additive at your nearby marathon station. Something that can add value to your life and the life of your car. Something you can get only at your marathon station. What it is your marathon man. Because your marathon man is somebody who believes it's not old-fashioned to give people what they pay for, plus a little bit more. He's there to do it better, and do it the way he'd want it done if he were you. If you don't already know him, well, you really ought to.
Go get together with a friend who'll do it better. Go see your marathon man.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better.
For the Reds in the bottom half of the third, it'll be Vic Correll, Bill Bonham, and Pete Rose. Correll hitting 158. Vic has 1 double and 3 hits in 19 times to the plate. Reds have had just 1 hit off Jim Barr. That Dave Concepcion's double to right center field in the second inning. Barr has 1-4 and lost 5 and a fine 249 earned run average. His first pitch is high to Correll, ball 1. Vic from Florence, South Carolina. Barr back to the plate, again high, 2 balls, no strikes. Other scores in the National League at New York, the Cubs scored 3 times in the second inning on a 3-run homer by Cox and lead the Mets 3-0 after 4. Correll swings and fouls down the left side and back into the seats. Montreal leading Philadelphia 3-0 after 4 at Philadelphia. Warren Crow Marty and Ellis Valentines for the Expos in that one. After 1 inning at St. Louis, the Cardinals leading Pittsburgh 1-0. Gary Templeton a home run in that one. Correll swings and a high chopper over the mound. Short hop by Metzger, running throw, got him. Good play by Roger Metzger, the Giant shortstop. 1 away, and Bill Bonham, the batter. Bill hitting 143. He's had 4 hits and 28 times up. San Diego at Atlanta after 3 innings. It's the Braves 4. The Padres nothing. Bonham swings and misses a fastball. Rolling off is a 3-run homer in the second inning, or in the third inning rather, with a his 8th home run with 2 on. Fire back, and that's strike 2 called. Breaking pitch on the outside corner. Fire delivers outside, 1-2. 1-2 delivery. Breaking pitch, chopped foul. Alec Gramis, the Reds' third base coach, has it. Out holding, a ball, 2 strikes. Well, it's cooled off just a bit here at Riverfront, and the air is cleared a little, too. Wind's blowing on top of the stadium, across from the left field foul pole to the right field pole. Swing and a liner to Mike Ivie, off to his left. First baseman, and out number 2. So Bill hit it right on the button, but Mike Ivie, a fairly easy play off to his left. 2 away, and here's Pete Rose. Pete extended his hitting streak in the first game to 22 straight. Pete's career high for a consecutive game hit in is 25. He takes from Barr down low ball. No score. We're in the third of the second game. The Giants winning the first 7-6. 1-0 delivery on the outside corner to knees. Count evens 1-1. Reds now have been involved in 32 one-run games, winning 21 and losing 11. 1-1 delivery. Swung on, and it's 23. Line drive into left field, a base hit for Rose. So Pete is now hit in 23 straight. Second hit of the game for the Reds, and here's Ken Griffey. Kenny in the first inning grounded to Metzger at shortstop. Griff hitting .312. Had a couple of hits in the opener. Now it's 105 for the year. Looks at a strike from Barr. Two out with Rose at first. Jim Barr in his 13th start of the year. Sets and delivers. Griff swings and hits it into left field, but Whitfield is there and makes the play and almost lost it. Terry backpedaling and was able to make the catch, an easy catch, but Terry made it look a little difficult. So the Reds in the inning, no runs, a hit, no errors, a runner left on base. The end of 3. Giants nothing, Reds nothing.
Cool it when the sun's up high. Cool it when the sun's down low.
Ah, everyone loves that warm, wonderful summer sun. Kind of makes you think of baseball, swimming, tennis, and air conditioning. That's right. 'Tis the season to be cool. And Crawford Nichols Heating and Cooling wants to cool it for you this summer with Westinghouse Air Conditioning. Dad knows that air conditioning adds to the value of your home. But more important, it allows the entire family to cool off during these hot, sticky summer months. The Cool It experts at Crawford Nichols work hard to keep you comfortable by offering Central Ohioans 24-hour service 365 days a year. So enjoy the sun and fun that goes with summer, but be cool. For a free home cooling estimate, call Crawford Nichols Heating and Cooling today and say cool it.
Now you can cool it with Crawford Nichols, that's the way.
876-1234.
No score after 3 innings, and in the 4th for the Giants, it'll be Mike Ivie, Larry Herndon, and Roger Metzger. Ivie struck out in the 2nd inning. Mike hitting .333. He's had 51 hits in 153 times to the plate. Of course, he had that big pinch double in the first game to drive in what wound up to be the winning run, the 7th of the game. Ivie looks at a curveball, a called strike. Tomorrow night, it'll be Freddie Norman for the Reds. The comp for San Francisco, John Montefusco. Bonham misses outside with a change-up, and it's even 1-1. Bill back to the plate. Ivie swings, ground ball foul off the third baseline. A ball, 2 strikes to count. Larry Herndon on deck. Bonham the 1-2. That's just off the plate outside, a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ivie. Bill the 2-2. Swung on, and a soft liner over the jumping Morgan into right center field. Griffey will play it back to the infield, and Ivie with a base hit. The 5th of the game for the Giants, and that'll bring Larry Herndon to the plate. Herndon struck out in the 2nd inning. And would you believe it? It has started to rain here at Riverfront. Bonham the stretch. And the pitch. Herndon bluffs a bunt, and it's a strike on the outside corner. Well, they're having a shower here at Riverfront Stadium, and much to the surprise of many fans. Outfield straight away to Herndon, the right-handed batter. The pitch. Up high, 1-1. Hill checking with Vic Correll as catcher. Has the sign to the belt, checks the runner, delivers. Herndon swings, fouls, backing out of play. Count of ball, 2 strikes. Mike Ivie led off the inning with a soft line drive into right center field for a base hit. He's at first base. Count of ball, 2 strikes. Bonham to the plate. Herb swung on and missed. Second time he's gotten Herndon, and for Bill, his 3rd strikeout. 1 away, and the batter, Roger Metzger. Rogers had a hot bat here in the doubleheader. He singled in the 2nd inning. His 1 time up in the 1st game. Metzger 3 for 4. Roger, a switch hitter. 3 hits, 4 hits he has now. He's hitting .267. Bonham the throw to first, and Ivie is back. Metzger came into the doubleheader hitting .251. Stretch the pitch. Swung on, and another base hit for Roger Metzger as he lines one to center field. Metzger now with 5 hits in the doubleheader. Ivie moving to second. That's hit number 6 for the Giants. And the batter will be Marc Hill. Marc a single to right in the 2nd inning. Metzger, Hill, and Barr all singled with 2 out in the 2nd inning to load the bases before Whitfield bounced to Morgan to end the inning. 1 away, runners 1st and 2nd. Marc Hill at the plate, a right-handed batter. Bonham the stretch and the pitch, and Hill takes a curve for a called strike. Bonham asked for another set of signs from Vic Correll. And the stretch, and now Hill backs away from the plate. Bonham sets. The 0-1. Way outside, bouncing. Good block by Vic Correll. And the count goes 2 balls, 1 strike. Vic Correll keeping the ball from getting through. Ivie at second. Metzger at first. 1 out. No score here in the 4th. Bonham ready. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. A change up. The count. A ball, 2 strikes. Now the 1-2. Swung on, that's bounce foul to the Giant dugout. Count holds the ball, 2 strikes. The weather forecaster's back. Cloud vent. Again, the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Got him with a changeup. We'll pause for station identification. This is the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
Z-Brights are turned on by Cincinnati Reds Baseball. Exclusively in Mid-Ohio on Zebra 100 WRMZ Columbus.
All right, Bonham ready to go to work on the pitcher Jim Barr, and his first pitch is under the knees of ball. Barr singled in the second inning. Jim, a 174 batting average. The Reds outfield around to the right for Barr. Bonham sets. And the pitch. Curve swung on and missed, and Jim Barr loses his bat. Bat winding up near the box seats, just to the left of the screen. Count even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Bill Bonham making his 3rd start against the Giants this year. He's beaten them twice. Came into the season even career-wise, 3-3. He's now 5-3. The pitch. Strike 2 called. 1-2. Bill has the sign from Correll. A stretch. And now Barr backs away from the plate. Still ready. And the pitch. Swung on. That's line foul over the Cincinnati dugout. Count holds the ball, 2 strikes. Pretty good wind blowing over the stadium right now. Bonham sets. And again, the 1-2. That's a check swing on a breaking pitch that's blowing outside. And another good play by Vic Correll. Count evens at 2-2. That's the 2-2. Swung on and missed, and Barr loses his bat. And the Giants in the 4th, no runs, a couple of hits. There were no errors, 2 runners left on base, and it's the middle of the 4th. It's the Giants nothing, the Reds nothing.
The time is right, that feeling comes through. Real love the snow, only one beer will do. For the real beer lovers, take back no other goes. For the real beer lovers, everyone knows it's the beer lovers beer. Family fruit for over 200 years. Real beer lovers say they go out of their way for a stroll. Oh yeah, stroll. For the real beer lovers, stroll. Take back no other goes. For the real beer lover, from one beer lover to another goes. The Stroh Brewery Company, Detroit, Michigan.
No scores. The Reds bat in the bottom half of the 4th inning. It'll be Morgan, Foster, and Driessen. Joe, in the 1st inning, lined hard to Rob Andrews at second base. Jim Barr has given the Reds 2 hits, has not walked anyone, nor has he struck out anyone. Jim had walked just 11 batters in 76 innings coming into tonight's game and had struck out 20. Joe Morgan will lead it off. Reds have had 2 hits, as we pointed out. Concepcion's double in the second, Rose is single in the third to extend his hitting streak to 22 straight. 23 straight, that is. Swinging a pop-up off the bat of Morgan. Rob Andrews in shallow right waiting, and he has it. So 1 pitch, 1 out. That'll bring George Foster to the plate. George, a fly ball to Whitfield in right field, or in left field, rather, in the second. Foster settles in, and Barr has the sign from Hill in the first pitch. Swung on, ground ball, right back to Barr. Pretty good shot. Jim picking it off. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Two away, and Danny Driessen, the batter. Dan grounded to Andrews at second in the second inning. Danny hitting .290. Barr delivers, Driessen takes. Breaking ball for a called strike. Jim Barr, a real battler. Boy, he'll come after you. The 0-1. Driessen swings on an off-speed pitch and a foul tip into the middle of Marc Hill. Time goes 0-2. Barr, the 0-2. Fastball's fouled away. On hold, snowballs 2 strikes to Dan Driessen. Barr back to the plate, high and outside. On a ball, 2 strikes to Danny. Barr delivers an off-speed pitch, foul. Barr, a pretty quick worker, not quite as quick as Vida Blue, but didn't waste a whole lot of time. Here's the 1-2 again. That's just misses outside. 2-2. A light rain falling again here at Riverfront. Barr works outside. 3-2. Payoff on the way. Driessen slings on it and pops it foul off to the left and back into the seats. Again, the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, that's bounced to Andrews at second. On to Ivie, and that's the inning. The Reds out in order, nothing across, and after 4, Giants nothing, Reds nothing.
For car transportation, we're the greatest in the nation. Our prices are laughingly low. Check their prices, then check our prices. Theirs are high and ours are below. If you're ready for a new one, get a red one or a blue one, cause our prices are laughingly low. It's so easy. You'll think that we're crazy. Get the keys, then gig to let go. When you buy a used car from Dave Smith Ford, you'll be laughing while you're dealing. At Dave Smith, it's so much fun buying from us, you may want to buy 3 or 4 of our fine used cars. Dave Smith Ford has so many used cars to choose from, you'll have a laughing good time just looking around. See us at Dave Smith Ford, where the used cars are great, the savings are high, and the prices are laughingly low. Come on in, have a good time on us. Dave Smith Ford, 10 minutes east of Columbus. If we can't save you money, we'll buy you 2 steak dinners. Our prices are laughingly low. It's so easy. You'll think that we're crazy. Get the keys, then giggle and go. Dave Smith Ford.
Well, right now they're covering the field as the Rains are coming down here at Riverfront Stadium. No score, the 4th inning. We've completed 4 innings, and The Giants have out-hit it 6-2, but right now the ground crew covering the playing field, and we're going to have a rain delay here at Riverfront. The Giants winning the first game tonight by a score of 7-6, and I guess you'd almost say things are about opposite as to what you might have expected as far as the pitching matchup. Vida Blue and Tom Seaver matched in the first, and Vida worked 5 innings, gave up 8 hits, and 2 runs, both earned, and Tom Seaver worked 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, struck out 7, walked 1, and 5 runs, 4 of them earned. Here in the second game, Jim Barr and Bill Bonham really battling it out, as Barr has allowed the Reds just 2 hits through 4 innings, and Bonham, as we said, has allowed 6 hits, but they struck out 5, and we've not had a walk here in the second game. So as the rains, are falling ever so lightly right now, they're still going ahead with putting the tarpaulin on the infield to protect it.
Well, the Reds are back on the field. Bill Bonham is loosening up to Vic Correll. The rains have completely stopped here, and we're going to be going to the top of the 5th inning in this 0-0 ball game. The Giants won the first one 7-6. Bonham and Jim Barr have been matching zeros with each other through 4 full innings of play. The Giants have had 6 hits but no runs off Bill. The Reds have had but a pair of base hits off Jim Barr, and we have not scored. And we'll be back with a resumption of the second game of this Friday night banner night doubleheader at Riverfront in just a moment. Terry Whitfield is lined to first and bounced out to second base. He's 0 for 2. Bonham delivers, and the pitch to changeup is inside, ball 1. Again, we want to thank the governor of the state of West Virginia, Jay Rockefeller, for coming down and chatting with us. Swung on, and a rope hit back up the middle into center field for a base hit. That ball almost got Bonham as Whitfield lines a base hit to center to kick off the 5th inning.
X-rays on Manny Sarmiento were negative.
Just been informed by Reds publicity director Jim Ferguson that the X-rays performed on Manny Sarmiento proved to be negative. We had mentioned earlier he'd been taken to Christ Hospital for precautionary X-rays after being struck on the left arm by the Terry Whitfield line drive in the first game, and Manny is going to be all right. Rob Andrews 0 for 2. There's a throw to first as Whitfield steps back. Jim Barr getting loose once again in the Giants bullpen. Rose shallow at third, looking for Andrews to try and lay a bunt down. Pete creeping in. Rob squares, puts it down first base side. Good bunt. Up with it, Bonham. Double pumps and now throws to Morgan. Bill came up quickly, but had to pump one time before releasing the ball because Morgan had not yet gotten to the bag. That'll be a sacrifice bunt for Andrews. 1-4 if you score along with us, with Whitfield going to second. Jackie Clark, a single and a fly ball to center is in there now for the Giants. Two guys with hitting streaks in this doubleheader. Pete Rose is now hit in 23 straight, having hit in both ends tonight. And Jack Clark has done the same for the Giants. He now has hit in 10 straight games. He takes a strike from Bonham. Bill has been pitching in and out of trouble all night long. He stranded 3 on in the second, leaving the bases loaded when Whitfield grounded out. Clark swings and misses at the changeup. Giants went out in order in the third. They got a couple of men on in the 4th inning, but Bonham, after giving up a base hit to Metzger, putting runners at first and second, struck out Hill and Barr back-to-back. He checks his swing on a pitch that bounces up there, and it's going to be a strike. Billy Williams calls it as Bonham threw a changeup short of the plate, and outside it bounced into Correll's mitt. And Clark, in the opinion of Billy Williams, committed himself on it, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Bonham has fanned a total of 6 in the game, and he'll go to work on Darrell Evans. Ground out to short in the first inning for Darrell, and then a line drive that Rose caught in the third. Well, Terry Whitfield, who opened the inning with a single and moved to second on Andrews' bunch, still out there now as Clark has struck out. Bonham to Evans. Check swing, ball one on a low curve. No score. We're in the top of the fifth inning. Onto the plate comes a right-hander, and Evans jumps away from an inside fastball, 2-0. First game, a wild freewheeling affair. 13 runs, 24 base hits. Total of 3 home runs, and this one, really the kind we had expected to see in the first game with a matchup of Vida Blue and Tom Seaver. 2 balls and 3 balls and no strikes. Well, if Evans gets on, the inning will continue for first baseman Mike Ivie. Bonham needs a strike. Let's see if they turn Evans loose. They do, and he hits a high fly ball into fairly deep right center, but not deep enough because Griffey is stationed there and makes a catch. Fifth inning numbers for the Giants. No runs, a hit, 1 left, and after 4.5, the Reds nothing and the Giants nothing.
The big red machine is rolling down the street with big red Smoky, the big league tree.
One-0 pitch. That's taken at the knees for a strike. Scoreboard stuffer tonight. Willie McCovey became the 12th player in baseball history to hit 500 home runs this year. How many of the other 11 can you name? Barr with a 1-1 pitch. David swings, lines one, right center, falling, base hit. So Davey, 2 for 2 on the night. As we in the bottom of the inning, like the Giants in the top of the inning, got our lead man on. Let's see if we can get him around as Mike Lum steps in and checks down with third base coach Alex Grammas. Well, Cincinnati has hit number 3, and Davey has 2 of them, a double and a single. Here's a pitch, swung on, drive, hit to deep right field. Way back, it's out of here. 2-0 our side. Mike Lum touches them all as he jumped on Jim Barr's first pitch and plays long balls to give the Reds a 2-0 lead. The 4th of the year for Mike Lum, and a big blow it was for the Cincinnati Reds, who wait to greet their teammate as he heads in toward the dugout. So the Reds jump out in front on that home run. Correll takes the pitch for a strike. We're going to get John Curtis hurriedly starting to throw now in the Giants bullpen. That's low, and it's a ball and a strike to Vic Correll. Vic up in the 3rd inning as a leadoff batter, grounded out to Metzger at shortstop. He hits one hard in the hole, backhanded by Metzger. Here's a throw, and not in time. Infield hit for Correll, and that's 3 in a row off Barr after the 22-minute rain delay. Well, you can look for Bill Bonham to be up in a sacrificing situation as the Reds have struck for 2 very quickly on a single by David and a home run by Lum. And now an infield hit by Correll. Barr sends in the pitch, and Bonham pushes at first base side of the mound. Barr's going to go to second and got the out. Throw to first, not in time. That'll go down as a fielder's choice, 1-6. Barr to Metzger as Correll is forced at second base. So 1 down in the inning as we go back to the top of the order for Pete Rose. Pete extended his hitting streak to 23 games in a row with a single to left in the 3rd. Reds 2, Giants nothing. Bonham leading at first. Rose waving it around. Tried to bunt his way aboard and fouls it away. Only the third home run that Barr has allowed all season long. Now the strike one pitch. Inside. Pretty good fastball. One of the better ones that Barr has delivered tonight. Bonham with a jacket on down at first base. Rose now hitting .301. At one point at .267 before he began the 23-game hit streak. He fouls it off the face mask of catcher Hill. Mary Gregg getting a new supply of baseballs as John Curtis continues to get ready for the Giants. Jim Barr having his problems in the fifth inning. Stretching the pitch. Up high, 2-2. Griffey swinging a bat in the on-deck circle. Rose tries to base hit Jim Barr and make it a big fifth inning for the Reds. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, ground ball third. Evans bobbles, recovers, throws to second one. Throw to first, not in time. Hard hit ground ball directly at Darrell Evans. He dropped it, recovered to throw out Bonham, but that momentary bobble eliminated any chance the Giants had of getting a double play that would have taken them out of the inning. Here's Griffey. This reminder, a Cincinnati Reds Senior Citizens Date is coming up next Thursday evening when the Reds and the Mets get together at 8:05. Persons 65 and over may purchase $4 reserve seats for only $2. Kenny without a hit. As he makes his third appearance at the plate here in the second game, he's grounded out to shortstop. He's flied out to left field. He takes it high and outside, a fastball. Reds have been out hit 7-5, but we lead 2-0 thanks to Mike Lum's home run with Concepcion aboard. There's a throw to first. Griffey, a .311 batter. Far sight's a sign, kicks and fires. Swung on, chopped to third. Evans will come to first baseman Ivie with a throw, and that's the inning. The Reds get 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 left. And after 5 complete, Cincinnati 2 and San Francisco nothing.
The time is right, that feeling's coming through. Real beer lovers know only one beer will do. Stroll for the real beer lovers. Stroll, tastes like no other. Stroll for the real beer lover. Everyone knows it's the beer lover's beer. Family brew for over 200 years. Real beer lovers say they go out of their way for a stroll. Hey, 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 stroll for the real beer lovers. Stroll, tastes like no other. Stroll for the real beer lover. From one beer lover to another. Stroll.
The Stroh Brewery Company, Detroit, Michigan.
As we go to the 6th inning, the answer to the stumper tonight, the 500 home run hitters besides Willie McCovey. Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, Willie Mays, Frank Robinson, Harmon Killebrew, Mickey Mantle, Jimmy Fox, Ted Williams, Eddie Matthews, Ernie Banks, and Mel Ott. You talk about an array of power and outstanding baseball talent. There you have the 11 home run hitters who have struck 500 or more in their career, and Willie McCovey certainly deserves to be there with some of the best of all time. The Giants finding themselves down 2-0 as they come calling in the 6th inning. We'll lead it off with Mike Ivie. He has struck out and had a single. One of 7 hits that Bonham has given up. Bill delivers. Ivie swings and fouls it off to the right. Bonham has now shut out this ball club for 11 2/3 innings, going back to his last start at San Francisco when he and Sarmiento combined to blank him 5-0. Curve on the outside corner, strike 2. Well, we've got the winners from our banner night parade between games earlier tonight. That's a breaking pitch. It's in the dirt. First place went to Marita Schaefer of Fairfield and her sister Monica Street of Hamilton, and their banner Cincinnati's Royal Flush, featuring a deck of cards with faces of Reds players. 1-2 pitch. That's low. The girls teamed up to win first place in the Banner Day competition 2 years ago and won second place last year, so they've got quite a string going. 2-2, ball 3. Second place went to David Wetzel and John Reed of Columbus and their Mr. Red with his moving bat. Both boys graduated this year from Columbus Northland High School and will attend Ohio State in the fall, majoring in engineering. Ground ball wide of third. Rose gets it. Now can he get the out? Yes, he got it. That's what you call a major league play. Both of them, as Rose went wide to his left, had to plant himself and get off the throw. Danny Driessen reaching to the outfield side of the bag to grab the throw and get Ivie. 2 fine plays make Mike Ivie the first out. Here's Larry Herndon. He struck out twice. Inside. Off the plate, 2 balls and no strikes. The third place winner in this year's competition was Mr. and Mrs. Roger Bosworth of Pickerington, Ohio. Strike is called. Their banner featured Pete Rose and his 3,000th hit. Mr. Bosworth is an artist and works in the marketing department of the Columbus Dispatch. 2-1, the pitch on the way. Herndon swings and bounces to the box. Bonham has it on the hop and guns him down. 2 out. Wayne Clayton, his son David, and nephew Daniel took 4th place with their Indy race car. Mr. Clayton and David are from Indianapolis. Dan is from Anderson, Indiana. It was the first time any of them had entered a Banner Day competition. First prize, money, $250. Second prize, $150. Third prize, $100. Fourth prize, $50. 2 away in the Giants' 6th inning. Roger Metzger 2 for 2 in this game and 5 hits in a doubleheader. Grounds to Dave Concepcion, running throw, out, and that's the inning. Bill Bonham gets him down in 1-2-3 fashion. We played 5.5. Reds 2, Giants nothing.
When it's time for a change, what you'd probably like to have is a change for the better. That's why Marathon came up with new Ultra D motor oil. It is definitely a change for the better. Marathon's new Ultra D motor oil is a change for better gas mileage.
A change for the better.
New Ultra D is a change for improved engine protection.
A change for the better.
New Ultra D is a change that means faster starts no matter what the temperature.
A change for the better.
Marathon's new Ultra D motor oil is a special blend of natural and synthetic ingredients. It's really different from conventional blends. Meaning when Ultra D gets together with the engine of your car, things do get better.
It's a change for the better with new Ultra D motor oil.
New Ultra D motor oil. A change for the better from the people who do it better. Marathon Oil Company.
Make a change for the better with new Ultra D. Make a change for the better with new.
Cincinnati Reds 1978 yearbook is sure to be a collector's item for every Reds fan. It features Pete Rose on the cover along with smaller pictures of the other 12 members of baseball's 3,000 hit club. Inside the yearbook, you'll find pictures, stories, and statistics about all the Reds players. Purchase your copy at the Reds 580 gift shop and other leading newsstands throughout Reds country or order by mail. Send $1.50 plus 50 cents postage and handling to Reds Yearbook, Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati. Morgan to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. Takes the first pitch of ball from Barr. Joe is lined to second and popped to second. He bounces one slowly toward second this time. Andrews throwing, 1 out. Well, Morgan grounding out, and it'll bring up George Foster. He had 3 hits in the opener, but Barr has kept him off the bases with a fly to left and a hard smash back to the box. Foster slowly climbing in. Now out again as Barr waits on him to get there. Now the pitch. Swung on and popped up. Out in shallow right field. Andrews will play the ball, and he makes the catch. 2 away. Reds baseball comes your way all season long on WCHO in Washington Courthouse, on WEKY in Richmond, Kentucky, WLIV in Livingston, Tennessee. 2 out, bases empty in a game that has the Reds out in front 2-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Barr starts Driessen out with a slow breaking ball that stays low and inside of the left-handed batter. Swung on, bounced over the mound, and threw into center field. Danny with a 2-out single. Will bring up perfect hitting Dave Concepcion, who has doubled and singled off Barr and was on base in the last inning when Mike Lum played long ball. And the Reds now with 1 less hit than had the Giants in the game, 7-6. After we went into the 5th inning, having accumulated a grand total of 2. Had 3 hits in the 5th, and now this 2-out single by Driessen. Davey batting .295. Pitch at the letters for a call strike. Throwing outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Freddie Norman dueling the count, John Montefusco, in the 7 o'clock beginning tomorrow night. Hope you're making your plans to be out. We'll be on the air with the pregame shows beginning at 6:30 on most of these same stations. Throw to first, but not nearly in time. Driessen ducking back in. This will probably be the final inning of work for Barr because he will be hitting second in the 7th. Strike 2 call. The right-hander pours a fastball over. It was a treat to talk to Jay Rockefeller. He knows something about this game of baseball, I'll tell you. Driessen with a good lead at first base, and Barr throws that way. Guy who attacked the 2 runs on the board for us in the last inning is on deck, Mike Lum. Barr with a slow come down to the belt. He pours in the pitch. Davey swings, line drive in the right field. That's going to be a foul ball. We'll pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
Cincinnati Reds baseball is yours on Zebra 100, WRMZ, Columbus, Ohio, the home of the Reds for Central Ohio.
Davey with a near miss deep down the right field foul line, so Driessen back at first base on the holding 1 ball, 2 strike count. Danny going, and is swung on, chop, third base side of the mound, up with it, Barr throwing, no, safe, base hit. Well, they used to call that a swing and bunt. And here comes Mike Lum back, and the fans appreciate what he did in the last inning. Barr had to throw off balance with any hope at all of getting Davey, and as a result, not a great deal on the throw, and Davey beat it. So we have him on at first and second. Lum with that home run in the right field seats in the last inning. And now he's knocking on Jim Barr's door 1 inning later. pitch on the way. Swung on, fly ball, right center field. Going back is Herndon, and he'll gather it in just short of the warning track out in center. Mike hit that ball well. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. After 6, the Reds 2, the Giants nothing.
Man, I love to drive on the open road and listen to that old night wind blow. Chewing Red Fox, it sure does ease my mind. Riding this ribbon on through the dark. No place to stop, no place to park. Me and Red Fox chewing tobacco, making up lost time. The Red Fox folks know what they're doing when it comes to making tobacco for chewing. For relaxation, man, it's one of a kind. It's moist and soft and mild for sure. The flavor's fresh, the taste is pure. It settles you down and helps a man unwind. Why don't you try Red Fox? Look for it in the white pouch with the picture of Old Red taking it easy. Red Fox chewing tobacco. Now it's better than ever. So when that highway starts to call, run with the fox that beats them all, Red Fox. 'Cause mister, taking it easy never tasted so good. Red Fox.
Okay, we head into the final 3 innings of action. We lead them 2-0 as Marc Hill gets set to step in and bat off of Bill Bonham here in the 7th inning. I got you a couple of runs. Can you make it stand up, big guy?
We'll retirement order here for you. All right.
Go to work.
All right. Marc Hill, and it looks like we'll have a pinch hitter. Might be Jim Dwyer for the pitcher, Jim Barr. Hill 1 for 2 tonight. He singled in the 2nd inning, struck out in the 4th. Bill Bonham has struck out 6, and the Giants have had 7 hits. Each team with 7 hits apiece. The Reds lead 2-0. Bonham winds, and his first pitch to Hill is a strike at the knees on the outside corner. Bill looking for his 9th win of the year. His 3rd over the Giants. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, ground ball, fair along the right field line. Over is Griffey up. And Hill's going to have to hold. So a quick play by Ken. And Dave Concepcion throws it into the dugout. Dave cutting it off and made really a useless throw or needless throw and missed Dan Driessen, and into the dugout it goes, and Marc Hill will go to 3rd base. So making a fine play was Ken Griffey, and holding Hill to a single, but Dave Concepcion trying to double uphill, who made the wide turn, but Mark was already back to the bag at Dave's throw, went into the Reds dugout, and that is 2 bases. Now we'll see who's going to hit for pitcher Jim Barr, and it looks like Jim Dwyer. Well, if you're scoring, give Marc Hill a single and charge a 2-base error to Dave Concepcion, the first of the game. So Hill all the way to 3rd base, and Jim Dwyer the batter. Dwyer hitting .227. Left-handed batter. Reds leading 2-0. Gary Lavelle throwing in the Giant bullpen. Pitch to Dwyer over his head, and down he goes. 1-0 the count. Terry Whitfield on deck. Bonham delivers, and Dwyer swings and misses a change. 1-1. Marc Hill at 3rd base, singled and moved there on a 2-base throwing arrow by Dave Concepcion. 1-1 delivery, swung on and missed. Another changeup, and the count 1-2. Doug Bear will start throwing in the Reds bullpen, along with, looks like, Pedro Bourbon. Fire swings, misses on a breaking ball. Bonham with his 8th strikeout. One away, and Whitfield the batter. Whitfield 0 for 3 tonight, has lined to Driessen, has grounded to second, and, or I should say 1 for 3, and single to center his last time up. Dave Concepcion in talking to Bill Bonham, and now heads back to his position at shortstop. Terry Whitfield at the plate. Bonham works, and Whitfield takes outside a ball. Rob Andrews on deck, but we'll see a pinch hitter for him. Like Vic Harris loosening up down in the Giant bullpen. There's the strike at the knees on the inside corner, and Whitfield not happy with Eric Gregg's call. Count evens 1-1. Dusty Baker has hit a 2-run homer in the 7th inning, and the Dodgers lead the Houston Astros 5-4. Here's the 1-1. Check swing, it's high. 2 balls is strike. On him back to the plate. That bounces away from Correll. Here comes Hill. He'll score, and it's a 2-1 ball game. That'll be a wild pitch charged to Bill Bonham. But Hill should not have been at third base, so that's an unearned run at the moment. Now 3-1 to Terry Whitfield. Bell throwing in the Giant bullpen. Bear and Barbone in the Reds. And the 3-1 pitch. That's strike 2 called. Fastball at the knees. Full count. Payoff on the way. Inside. Ball 4. First walk issued by Bill Bonham. So Whitfield moves on to first base, and we'll see who they're going to send up to hit for Rob Andrews, and it's a big guy, Willie McCovey. Well, a young man here tonight, Ken Griffey. Of course, Kevin, one of the stars of the Washington Bullets, the NBA champions this year. So Willie McCovey to hit for Rob Andrews with 1 out, and Whitfield at first base. Pinch hitting this year, McCovey has been up 4 times with 2 hits and a home run. Vic Harris would go in and play second base in the bottom half of the inning, throw over to first, and Whitfield steps back. Stretch and the pitch. McCovey takes it low ball. Well, he is 10th home run, or the 11th home run of the year in the first game, make it his 10th. Now has 50 RBIs and 234 batting average. Bonham delivers up high with a fastball, 2-0. Jack Clark on deck. Bonham the 2-0. A strike called, 2-1. So over to first, and Whitfield steps back. Reds leading 2-1. With 1 out and Whitfield at first base, and a 2-1 count to Willie McCovey hitting for Rob Andrews, the Giant second baseman. Bonham sets and delivers. McCovey swings and fouls to the screen, and that evens the count at 2-2. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, it's Freddie Norman for the Reds and John Montefusco for the Giants. Bonham gets another baseball from plate umpire Eric Gregg. Bonham checking with Correll. the stretch. And the pitch. McCovey swings and grounds it foul off the first baseline. On holds 2-2. In the American League in the 6th inning, Boston leading Cleveland 5-4.
51,163. 51163.
Well, the attendance tonight, 51,163, and that's the largest crowd since opening day. 2-2 delivery. Swung on, that's chopped foul. Other scores in the American League, Milwaukee leading New York 3-0, 3rd inning. Toronto and Chicago, no score, 3rd inning. Baltimore over Kansas City, 1-0. They're in the 4th. Detroit leading Texas 3-1. That's in the 3rd. And Minnesota, Oakland, no score, 3rd inning. Throw over to first. Whitfield is back. 2-2 the count to Willie McCovey. Reds outfield, around to the right a bit. Bonham to the belt and his pitch. That's low and inside. Full count now to McCovey. Let's see if Whitfield is on the move. Whitfield has stolen 2 bases, has been caught 7 times. Whitfield goes the pitch, swung on and foul. Down holds 3-2. Whitfield returns to first base. Bonham ready. And again the 3-2. Swung on, hit to center field. Mike Lum there, and he has it. And returning to first in a hurry is Terry Whitfield. So McCovey hit that one right on the button, but right at Mike Lum. 2 away now, and Jack Clark the batter. Clark 1 for 3, singled in the 1st, fly ball to center in the 3rd, and struck out in the 5th. On a check swing called by Billy Williams, the first base umpire. Jack not at all happy with the call. There's the strike call to Jack Clark at the knees. On him, a throw over to first, and Whitfield back. And that game in Milwaukee, that's Guidry pitching for New York. And Milwaukee, as we said, leading 3-0. Clark takes high and outside, and Correll reaching high above his head to keep it from going through. The count evens 1-1. 51,163 here at Riverfront. Standing room only, and that's the largest crowd since opening day. Bonham ready. Here's the 1-1. Clark takes it inside, leans away, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Opening day crowd was 52,378. Throw over to first. Whitfield steps back. 2-1 to count. Bonham the stretch. His pitch. Clark swings and misses, and the count evens 2-2. Jack hitting .309. First game, Clark had 2 hits and 5 times up. Bonham delivers. Clark swings on a curve down lines it down the left field line. Over to cut it off is Foster. And his throw in will hold Whitfield from scoring as Clark moves into second base. Jack Clark hitting a curveball and lining it along the left field line for a double. Jack Clark, his 22nd double of the year, and the batter, Darrell Evans. Runners now second and third with 2 out. Darrell Evans 0 for 3, has grounded to short, has lined to third, and a fly ball to right. He's 3 times up. Bonham will take the windup. And his first pitch to Evans is a fastball high. Atlanta really beating up on the Padres tonight, 11-2 in the 8th inning. Montreal leading Philadelphia 7-1 in the 7th. 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed, and it evens at 1-1. I get a foul tip. Chicago leading New York 8-7. That's in the 7th inning at Shea Stadium. Dodgers leading Houston 5-4, 8th inning at Houston, and Pittsburgh and St. Louis 1-1 in the 5th. Pitch to Evans just high with a fastball, 2-1. Reds leading at 2-1. The Giants with runners at second, third, and 2 out. 2-1 delivery. Down low, 3-1. Mike Ivie on deck. Whitfield at third, Clark at second. Bonham into the line and a 3-1 delivery. Up high, ball 4. Second walk issued by Bill Bonham. Bases now loaded, and Mike Ivie the batter. Mike, 1 for 3, struck out in the second, singled in the 4th, and grounded to third in the 6th. And I say grounded, a fine play made by Pete Rose off to his left to throw Mike out. Here comes Sparky, and, well, we'll see. He's got that pace about him, and that could be all for Bill Bonham. And it's going to be Doug Bear to come on and get the third out in this inning. Started off with Hill hitting one down the right field line. Ken Griffey making a fine play to keep him from going for a double. Dave Concepcion cutting the throw off and going back to Driessen, hoping to double up Hill, threw it into the Cincinnati dugout, and that moved Hill up 2 bases. So we have a break in the action here at Riverfront. A new pitcher on the mound, Doug Bear, and we'll be back after this word.
Hi, this is Nancy Seaver.
And I'm Nancy's husband, Tom.
When we first left New York to live in Cincinnati, we wondered what we'd do for entertainment when Tom wasn't pitching for the Reds.
Luckily, we found the answer right away at Kings Island.
That's right, Kings Island.
You see, most people think of Kings Island as just the best theme park in the entire Midwest.
And while the park's unbeatable, Kings Island is really a total vacation center.
Our family lives at the Jack Nicklaus Golf Center, which is part of the entertainment complex. At the Kings Island Inn, adjacent to the park, you can enjoy swimming and tennis. Or if you like the outdoors, try the Kings Island Campground. Plus, this summer, the National College Football Hall of Fame opens as a new part of Kings Island.
Wow, there's really something fun for everyone. So plan now to come to Cincinnati and watch Tom and the Reds. Bring the entire family and make it a doubleheader. The Reds and Kings Island.
Kings Island. You know, it's just about the best thing to happen to Cincinnati since Tom Seaver.
Oh, Tom.
New pitcher for the Reds, Doug Bear, and Doug making his 36th appearance of the year. He's won 3 and lost 3 with a fine 187 earned run average. He's worked 48 innings, allowing 41 hits, striking out 38, walking 19, and Doug has 13 saves to his credit. He completes his warm-ups. He'll be facing Mike Ivie with 2 out and the bases loaded. Darrell Evans at first, Jack Clark at second, Terry Whitfield at third. The Reds lead 2-1. Bear the stretch and the pitch, and it's swung on and fouled. Fastball, 0-1. Giants winning the first game, 7-6. Reds leading here 2-1. Bear to the belt. And the pitch. That's under the knees, a breaking ball. 1-1 to count. Outfield straight away to Ivie. Bear sets and delivers. Swung on and missed. Got him with a slider down and away. Bad pitch. And Ivie really tried to hold up on it. The count 1-2 now to Mike. Ivie hitting .338. Bear has the sign and the 1-2. That's high, a fastball. Count evens 2-2. Giants with the bases loaded. They've scored a run here in the inning. Here's the 2-2. Strike 3 call. Got him with a fastball on the outside corner, and Ivie arguing with Eric Gregg hard, and you'll see Mike Ivie tomorrow night. He's just been thrown out of the ball game. Well, he is really after Eric Gregg, and he is really putting on a pretty good show. And Mike not liking it at one bit, and Joe Altobelli and Terry Whitfield trying to get Mike to leave, but he is not in any hurry at all. So in the inning for the Giants, they get a run on 2 hits, 1 Cincinnati error, and 3 runners left on base, and at the middle of the 7th. The Reds 2, the Giants 1.
Starting July 30th, the Red Rooters Club is sponsoring a fabulous 14-day tour to 3 Hawaiian islands and San Diego. In Honolulu, you'll take the fascinating Circle Island tour and visit historic Pearl Harbor. You'll also enjoy the magnificent Polynesian Cultural Center and attend a fabulous dinner show. Then it's on to Maui for 3 nights, where you'll enjoy the Lau Valley Tour and a special beach steak fry. Next, it's Kauai with hotel accommodations for 3 nights, a tour of Waimea Canyon, and the Fern Grotto River Cruise. Your Hawaiian trip will be topped off with an Hawaiian barbecue. And your return will take you to San Diego for 2 games with our Reds and the Padres, with hotel accommodations for 3 nights, plus a sightseeing tour of Balboa Park and other points of interest, and a fabulous dinner at a famous restaurant. For complete details on this fantastic trip, call the Barney Rapp Agency at 513-381-7277. 381-7277. We at Stroh's hope you can make it. It'll be great, just like Stroh's beer.
Changes in the Giant defense. Vic Harris is now at second base, replacing Rob Andrews. Willie McCovey at first. He replaces Mike Ivie, who was tossed out of the game. And the new pitcher on the mound is John Curtis. Curtis making his second appearance in the doubleheader. He pitched in the first game, working 1 inning. Reds got a couple of runs off it. It'll be Vic Correll leading it off for the Reds here in the 7th, followed by Doug Bear and then Pete Rose. Reds leading it 2-1. Curtis delivers, and Vic tries to bunt and fouls. Darrell Evans playing very deep at third, and Vic figuring to take advantage of it. Vic and Darrell were teammates down at Atlanta. Jim Barr worked 6 innings, made 1 mistake, and that was the home run ball that Mike Lum hit for the 2 Cincinnati runs. Curtis slowing outside, and the count evens 1-1 to Correll. Back to the plate, Curtis swung on, line drive, foul, just off the line, down the third baseline, and that ball didn't miss by much at all. Spanky Fleming right on it. So a strike, and the count goes a ball, 2 strikes to Vic Correll. Make an infield single in the 5th inning. Roger Metzger making a fine play on his ground ball. Going outside, 2-2.
1 run earned, 9 hits, 2 walks.
There's ball 3. Full count now to Correll, leading it off here in the 7th. Curtis with the payoff. Correll swings and hits it by Harrison to right field, a base hit. Jack Clark plays it back to the infield, and Vic Correll has his second hit of the game. First off Curtis, and hit number 8 for the Reds. Bill Bonham worked 6 2/3 innings tonight. Doug Baird bunting foul off the first baseline. Bill allowed 9 hits. Struck out 8. Bear's been to the plate 6 times with a hit. He squares to bunt again and takes low. Ball 1-1. Charlie Williams to start throwing in the San Francisco bullpen. Edis to the belt. Bear squares, takes ball 2. Both Evans and McCovey charging the lines hard. 2-1 to count as Bear gets another sign from Alec Dramus, the third base coach of the Reds. Curtis backs to the plate. Bear squares, takes high, and it's 3 balls, 1 strike. Correll at first leads. Curtis the stretch, the pitch. That's on the outside corner, called strike, and a full count now to Doug Bear. Payoff on the way. Bear squares, and it's strike 3 call. One away, and Pete Rose steps in. Pete 1 for 3 in the second game. Base hit coming in the third inning. A line shot to left field off Jim Barr. Pete up for the first time, hitting right-handed against the left-hander Curtis. The pitch. Rose takes a strike. He bluffs a bunt somewhat. Curtis. The 0-1. Runner goes. The pitch is taken. Hill's throw, and they got Correll. Covering and taking the throw is Roger Metzger, so that's 2-6. Caught stealing on Correll. 2 away now, and the count 1-1 to Pete Rose. Curtis delivers. Rose takes a fastball, a tall strike. 1-2. Curtis working quickly. The pitch down low, breaking ball. 2-2. Pete, an even 300 batting average. Boy, he has come back strong. Here's the 2-2. Ball 3. Full count to Rose. A wind, the payoff. Rose swings and a ground ball. Harris at second has it. Throwing on to McCovey, and that's the inning. For the Reds, no runs, they get a hit. There were no errors, a runner left on base. And at the end of 7, Cincinnati 2, San Francisco 1.
It's the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs and the score 2-1. 2 strikes on Phillips. He steps back into the batter's box. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch.
Plan right now. Call New Sash, the window experts, 267-8396. The winter of 78 won't be forgotten easily, and this coming winter is forecast as cruelly cold. New Sash, the original replacement window, features the tilt-in window for easy cleaning. Your New Sash windows will perfectly fit because they're custom made to stop heat and cold air in its tracks. Thermopane glass adds double insulation. Your monthly fuel bills will be up to 30% lower with New Sash windows protecting and beautifying your home. BJ Industries is your New Sash distributor. Outside Columbus, call Collect 267-8396. You're the winner with New Sash.
Before the Giants bat in the 8th inning, we'll pause for station identification. This is the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
Follow the Reds all season long on Zebra 100 WRMZ, Columbus, Ohio, where you hear more of what you listen for.
Ready to go in the 8th, and here's Marty.
Okay, Joe, it's Larry Herndon leading it off. He tries to bunt his way aboard, and on the inside fastball from Doug Barry, fouls it off. Herndon has struck out twice. He's bounced back to the mound. Reds leading the Giants 2-1 here in the 8th inning of game number 2. The count evens at a ball and a strike. Cincinnati got a home run with a man aboard from Mike Lum in the 5th. And then the Giants came back to score one time in the 7th inning. Bouncing ball to first. Driessen is behind a bag and fields it, but it's a foul ball. Mike Ivie called out on strikes with the bases loaded in the last inning that resulted in Mike being thrown out of the game by plate umpire Eric Gregg. Bear with the advantage as he sends in the pitch. High and inside. 2-2. Some wild games going on around the National League tonight. Joe mentioned the fact that the Dodgers had taken the lead over Houston on Baker's home run. Here's a foul back. That's 5-4 Los Angeles. Atlanta with an 11-3 lead over San Diego. Roland Office and Bob Horner, the rookie out of Arizona State, have hit Braves home runs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Herndon bounces slowly towards short. Davey charges, gloves, gets rid of it in a hurry, and got him by a half step at first base. Out number 1 in the Giant 8th. Here's Roger Metzger. Chicago leading New York 8-7. The Mets have scored 1 in 1 inning. That was 7 runs in the 5th. 3 of them on a home run by Montañez, his 12th of the year, while Montreal has a 7-3 lead over Philadelphia going to the 9th in a game that has seen 5 home runs struck. Here's a pitch to Metzger for a strike. Cromartie, Valentine, and Carter have homered for Montreal. Luzinski, the National League leader, has hit his 21st, and Larry Boa has hit a home run in the 9th inning, making it 7-4. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pirates and the Cardinals kind of quiet in St. Louis. It's a 1-1 game after 6.5. Metzger bounces slowly to the right side, fielded by Driessen, throwing back to Barr, and out. Doug might have gotten stepped on as he comes bouncing up and down on his left foot. Apparently he's all right. But boy, there was one of those situations where you just step blindly looking for the throw and just able to get there in time to retire Metzger.
Marty, that's a tough play for the pitcher and the first baseman, but more so for the pitcher because, as you pointed out, you're really looking for the bag in the dark, I guess, so to speak, and looking for the ball, and hopefully your timing is just right, which was pretty close done.
Marc Hill, the batter. He's had a couple of singles, swings on the first pitch, tried to hold up, but couldn't. Strike 1. On the inside corner, strike 2 call. Well, they're doing a good job in relief of Bill Bonham, who is the pitcher of record in this ball game, and popped up but out of play to the right. Joe mentioned earlier that Yankee-Milwaukee game that had Ron Guidry going after his 14th consecutive victory. Milwaukee tattooing him pretty good tonight. They've hit 3 home runs off the Yankee left-hander, 2 of them by Larry Heisel. Inside, 1-2. Sixto Lezcano has also homered for the Brewers, who lead Guidry and the Yankees by a score of 6-0. So it looks like Ron's going to go into the All-Star game with a 13-1 record, which ain't too bad. Here's a ground ball to shortstop. Davey dialing Danny, and that's the inning. 3 up and 3 down. We played 7 1/2 innings. The Reds lead the Giants 2-1.
When you want to know the ones you love and the things you love will always be secure. Make friends with tomorrow. Grange Insurance, to be sure. There's nothing like the feeling that you get when you know you're safe now and secure. Protected by Grange Mutual. Grange Insurance, to be sure. When you make friends with a Grange agent, you're making friends with tomorrow. Tomorrow is Grange's business. If you like to sleep nights now and know that tomorrow means money in the bank, work out an individual retirement account or Kehoe plan with your Grange agent. Make friends with tomorrow through Grange, your partner in protection. Make friends with tomorrow. Grange Mutual, to be sure.
Left-hander John Curtis back for his second inning of work since coming on in relief of starter Jim Barr in the seventh inning. Vic Correll reached him for an opening single in the seventh, but Doug Bear, trying to bunt him along, ended up striking out. Correll was thrown out stealing, and rose and grounded out to second base. So despite giving up the hit, Mr. Curtis faced just 3 batters. Hence, it'll be Griffey, Morgan, and Foster in the inning for Cincinnati. Kenny 0 for 3, a bounce out. Once to short, once to third, and sandwiched in between, a fly ball to left. After getting 2 hits and a run batted in the first game, Giants have out-hit us 9-8. But Doug Bear, making that 5th inning 2-run homer by Mike Lum, continue to loom bigger and bigger. Griffey takes a strike. Check swing on a curve outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. With a crowd of 51,163 here tonight, the total seasons paid now stands at 1,256,716. Swing and a miss. One ball and 2 strikes. We're talking about attendance. Who do you think shows the biggest percentage increase in all of Major League Baseball? Here's a soft one-hopper hit to Metzger, and out at first base as McCuggy dug the throw out of the dirt. Griffey and Ron Plaza both thought that Kenny should have been called safe, and while Griffey goes back to the dugout, Plaza appeals to Billy Williams. To no avail, of course. San Francisco Giants, through 40 dates at Candlestick, have drawn 869,014 fans, 168,958 more than they drew all of last year. Morgan takes it low. The Giants' attendance increase of 407,012. That's a 114% increase. Foul back by Joe is the largest increase in the major league. Points up the fact that the greatest single promotion that a baseball team can have is to rack up those victories. 2-1. Morgan is lined out, popped out, and grounded out. He's 0 for 3 in this game and 0 for 4 in the doubleheader. Swung on, bounced foul. Well, Guidry's 13-game unbeaten streak has indeed come to an end. The Brewers shut him out 6-0. Heisel hit a pair of home runs. Lescano got 1. Swinging late, Joe lines it foul down past the Giant dugout, and nobody can grab a handle on that ball. It finally drops into the San Francisco bullpen. 2-2 and holding. Reds 2, Giants 1 as we hit in the 8th. The pitch from Curtis is taken for a strike, and that's going to be a strikeout. Morgan out on strikes. The second punch out Curtis has had tonight as Joe gives Eric Gregg a parting shot. Here's Foster. He's thinking about the Giants' 9th inning. They have scheduled to bat Vic Harris, Terry Whitfield, and Willie McCovey. Foster 0 for 3 in this one, 3 for 8 in the doubleheader. And he's taken over the National League RBI lead by 1 over Jack Clark after grounding out in the 9th inning of game number 1 to pick up run batted in number 62. Curtis with 2 out and the bases empty. He misses high and inside. Again up with a pitch, ball 2, 2-0. Lost by a run in the first game. That was our 32nd one-run game of the season. Foul back by George. Now show a record of 21 wins and 11 losses in one-run affairs, and we got another one going here in the second. It's amazing. 2 balls, a strike. How about number 19 of the year right here? Swung on, fly ball. Left center field, but not deep enough because Herndon is waiting on it to make the catch. The Reds are out. 3 up and 3 down. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on. We go to the 9th inning. Cincinnati 2 and San Francisco 1.
The time is right, that feeling comes through. Real feel of the soul, only one beer will do. Stroll for the real feel of the soul. Take back no other soul. For the real beer lover. Everyone loves it, the feel of his beer. Family fruit for over 200 years. Real beer lovers say they go out of their way for a stroll. Oh, yeah, stroll. For the real beer lovers, stroll. Take back no other stroll. For the real beer lover. From one beer lover to another stroll.
The Stroh Brewery Company, Detroit, Michigan.
Well, it's close them out time. We're in the 9th inning. 3 outs stand between Doug Bear and a Cincinnati Reds split in this doubleheader against the Giants. And it's going to be Vic Harris to lead it off, followed by Terry Whitfield, and then the always dangerous Mr. McCovey. This for Harris is going to be his first trip to the plate. He came in to play second base after Rob Andrews was lifted for a pinch hitter in the 7th inning. McCovey batting in Andrews' spot. Harris hitting in the number 9 position. Vic batting .224. He tries to bunt his way aboard, but takes the bat away on the pitch outside. Bear works quickly. Harris fouls it away, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count on the batter. Dave Tomlin getting ready. Well, the ball got back out of the stands by some means. After Harris fouled it back, here it came. A fan apparently threw it back out onto the field, and Dave Bristol, the third base coach, picked it up. 2 balls, a strike. Swung on and hit down the left field line, dropping into the seats as the count draws level at 2. Bear with 13 saves this season. He can make it number 14 tonight. National League leader Raleigh Fingers with 19 for the San Diego Padres. Up high, ball 3. Well, you don't want to let this guy get on. 1-run game. All important first man, you got to get out. Here comes a 3-2 pitch, and he walked him, missed high with a fastball. So let's see what Terry Whitfield's going to be doing with McCovey coming up next. Bear, who had retired 4 batters in a row, and of course had the big strikeout to end the 7th inning of Mike Ivie, leaving the bases loaded, and then waited through Herndon, Metzger, and Hill with no problem at all in the 8th, has walked Harris, who has good speed. Now Whitfield squares and pushes it first base side. A good bunt. Driessen picks it up, tags him as he strolls by. That's going to be a sacrifice, and the potential tying run is now out at second in Vic Harris with Willie McCovey coming back. Willie pinch hit for Andrews in the 7th and lined out to Mike Lum in center. There checks a runner, pitches to McCovey, swing and a miss, and boy, did he have some kind of cut. A gold-plated rip for Willie McCovey on pitch number 1. There to the belt. He delivers. McCovey takes it over the head. 1 ball and a strike. Got Jack Clark on deck. Harris at second, 1 away, 9th inning of a 2-1 game, Cincinnati. A 1-1 pitch on the way to McCovey. Strike 2, swinging. And a pretty good matchup here because you've got a guy who can throw aspirin tablets out there on the mound against a fine fastball hitting batter. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Back to the plate comes Bear. And again high with a pitch, 2-2. McCovey, who homered in the first game, leveling the bat as the 2-2 pitch comes plateward. Fouled off and back into the seats. Bear out behind the mound, mopping his brow as Tomlin continues to throw leisurely in the bullpen. Vic Harris got an opening walk, moved to second on the bunt by Terry Whitfield. Again, the 2-2 pitch to McCovey. Here's a liner. It'll be caught by Concepcion. Davey was shading Willie around towards second, and Vic Harris is very fortunate that he did not stray too far off the bag because Davey actually caught it behind Harris, who had put on the brakes and went quickly back into second. So 2 out. And now young Jack Clark, who has had 2 of the giant 9 hits, a single in the first and a double over third in the 7th. Clark, a right-hand batter. Bear pitches. Clark checks his swing. It's high, ball 1. 2 hits in this game for young Jackie Clark, and 2 hits in the first game, so he continues to tattoo that baseball. Swung on, fly ball, deep center field, but Mike Lum is going to be there, and this one belongs to the Reds. In the 9th inning, the San Francisco Giants, with no runs on no base hits, they leave the tie and run stranded at second as Bear gets Clark on a game-ending fly to center. And the Reds come back to gain a split in the Twin Bill as they win the second game by a final score of 2-1. We'll be back in just a moment.
You know, there are some basics in life that are important to most people. One of them is getting what you pay for. That's why a lot of people have gotten to be friends with their marathon man, because they know he takes a personal interest in the well-being of their cars, an interest that goes beyond just filling the tank and checking the oil. Your marathon man still thinks wiping your windshield, checking the air in your tires, and the water in your battery are part of what you pay for when you come into his station. And your marathon man still knows how to service your car when it needs it, and how to treat you the way he likes to be treated when he's a customer. So if you haven't already gotten to be friends with your marathon man, well, you really ought to. You'll definitely get what you pay for, and probably a little bit more.
Go get together with a friend who do it better. Go see your marathon man.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better, and we do.
Reds win the second game 2-1. We have 2 one-run ball games tonight, with the Giants winning the first one 7-6. And if this Twin Bill is any indication of how this rest of the series is going to go, and the rest of the season, when these 2 clubs get together, well, it's going to be quite something else. Fine relief pitching by Doug Bear in support of Bill Bonham's work earlier. Provide for the Reds the 2-1 victory. And, of course, a big blow was struck by Mike Lum, who followed the Concepcion base hit in the 5th inning with his 4th home run of the year. 2 runs, 8 hits, an error with 5 left, the winning Reds numbers, while San Francisco had a run on 9 hits, no errors. They left 11. Bonham goes 9-2, and chalking up the victory, credit Bear with his 14th save, and Jim Barr, the loser, 4 wins and 6 losses. So the two clubs end up the night just as they started out, with the Giants leading the Reds by 3 games in the series, by 3 games in the Western Division, and we've got a couple of more games remaining in this 4-game set, with game number 3 coming up tomorrow night. We'll be talking about the starting pitchers in that game when we continue in just a moment.
Cool it when the sun's up high. Cool it when the sun's down low. When it's too dark hot and you're cooking when you're not. Cool it the Crawford Nichols way.
Yes, everyone's doing it. Cooling it, that is, with Crawford Nichols Heating and Cooling and Westinghouse Air Conditioning. No need to be hot and bothered over summer's heat and humidity. Westinghouse Air Conditioning lets the whole clan be relaxed and happy at home. And a wise father knows that central air conditioning adds to the value of his home. And to make sure you stay cool, Crawford Nichols is on the job with emergency service 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Get your free air conditioning estimate today. Just call Crawford Nichols and say, cool it.
Now you can cool it with Crawford Nichols, that's the way.
876-1234.
Tomorrow night we'll get it underway at 7 o'clock, and going to the mound for the San Francisco Giants will be the vocal and loquacious John Montefusco, who comes in with a record of 7 wins and 3 defeats. And the Reds will counter that with left-hander Freddie Norman, who will enter the game with a record of 8 wins and 5 losses. Plenty of seats available tomorrow night, and for the Sunday afternoon wrap-up, we'll be on the air with the pregame shows on most of these same stations, beginning at 6:30 Cincinnati time. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Cincinnati Reds Incorporated and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Cincinnati Reds Incorporated is prohibited. Now on most of these same stations, stay tuned for Joe Nuxall with the star of the game show. Once again, the final score in game number 2 tonight, the Reds 2 and the Giants 1.
The Reds on Radio with Marty Brenneman and Joe Nuxall. The 1978 Cincinnati Reds have been brought to you by the Stroh Brewery Company. Stroh's, from one sports lover to another. And by your local Marathon full-service dealers and distributors. By the makers of Red Fox chewing tobacco. With Red Fox, taking it easy never tasted so good.
Also by Grange Mutual, your partners in protection. DJ Industries, the new sash distributors for Central Ohio. Crawford Nichols, the heating and cooling experts, and the WRMZ Sports Department.
Follow the Cincinnati Reds and tune in next time for the Reds on Radio on this, the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
Complete Cincinnati Reds baseball coverage is yours on Zebra 100 WRMZ, Columbus, Ohio.
For car transportation, we're the greatest in the nation. Our prices are laughingly low. Check their prices, then check our prices. Theirs are high and ours are below. If you're ready for a new one, get a red one or a blue one, because our prices are laughingly low. It's so easy. You'll think that we're crazy. Get the keys, then get to let go. Our laughingly low prices at Dave Smith Ford make our customers feel just fine. Now, if you feel a little down because you couldn't get the deal you wanted from the other guys, come on in and see us at Dave Smith Ford. We'll lift your spirits with our laughingly low prices. Let us put savings in your pockets, and you can laugh all the way to the bank. Laughter's the best medicine. We got plenty of it at Dave Smith Ford, 10 minutes east of Columbus. If we can't save you money, we'll buy you 2 steak dinners. Dave Smith Ford with the laughingly low prices. It's so easy. You'll think that we're crazy. Get the keys, then get and go. Dave Smith Ford.
All right.
Star of the Game with Joe Nuxall on FM 100 WRMZ.
We're back in the dugout here at Riverfront, where the Reds have split a doubleheader with the San Francisco Giants tonight, losing the first game 7-6, coming back to win the second game 2-1 behind Bill Bonham and Doug Bear. Our star of the game tonight, responsible for the 2 runs after a Dave Concepcion single in the 5th inning. Mike Lum hit his 4th home run of the year, and it stands up for a 1-1 win, the 22nd time this year the Reds have won a 1-1 game. And our star of the game, Mike Lum. We'll be back with Mike after this word.
Imagine this. You're standing in front of a house built from only new sash windows and one new sash door. Now let's go inside and experience new sash quiet. The new sash quiet came from the perfect custom fit and the exclusive thermal pane with its half-inch dead air space. Reducing outside noise is only part of the new sash story, eliminating the draft, the freezing winter wind, or the boiling summer air. The outside stays out because of the perfect new sash fit. For you, this means lower fuel bills, up to 30% lower. It makes dollars and cents to replace your worn-out windows and replace them with new sash, the original replacement window. For more information, call New Sash Collect, 267-8396. Your new sash windows also tilt in for easy cleaning and for enjoying the fresh spring and fall air. Ah.
Mike Lum, our star of the game tonight. Mike, 2 runs. They stand up for a win and a big hit for you, partner. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Joe. It's nice to get a hit like that once in a while.
Mike, the pitch you hit, look, it was down, and when you swung the bat, there wasn't any doubt at all where it was going.
Well, I like to hit the ball down, and that's where it was. It was a fastball down and in, and I got the fat part of the bat out front and hit it, and as soon as I hit it, I knew the ball was gone.
Mike, something like that, we've talked to you before, and boy, you've been swinging the bat so good, and something like that even, well, it just adds to things, doesn't it?
It does. I'm not playing a whole lot. I'm pinch hitting every now and then, and when you can get into a game and contribute like tonight, it makes me feel good, and it just try to contribute and try to help the ball club.
Mike, with Cesar Geronimo's problem, quite possible you could be in the next 2 games.
Well, I don't know the problem that Chief has, but if I'm called upon to get in there to play, I'll be ready.
When you look at a ball game like the first game, a 7-6 loss, come back 2-1, and the role you play in it, Bill pitched extremely well. Doug Bear did a heck of a job. Really a big win for this ball club.
Definitely. We're playing the first place team. We can't afford to lose any games, and every time you lose a game, you lose. You drop back a game in the standings, and Doug did a super job like he's been doing all year long, and we've been getting great pitching.
Mike, let's talk about Jim Barr. He's kind of a spot starter for him. You've faced him before, and can you go to the plate maybe looking for a certain pitcher? Do you like to hit that way?
Well, I never had any success off of Barr. I always hit ground balls to the shortstop, weak fly balls, and tonight, the previous, I always looked for fastballs away, and that's his pitch, and I just never could hit him. So tonight I just thought, just look for the ball and just swing the bat and just let it fall where it may, and that's what happened.
The next, your last time up, Mike, you just missed getting another one.
Well, that was a fastball up a little bit, and I kind of fell off the ball just a little bit and really didn't get the extension that I wanted to. And when I hit it, I knew that I didn't get it because it was just too high. I didn't drive the ball.
You like to have the pitch back?
Yeah, because maybe I would have taken it, though.
Mike Lum, our star of the game. We'll be back with more after this word.
Your pictures, faces, places, little moments that become memories. Important pictures, because they're your memories. So when you get them developed, take them to someone who knows just how special those pictures are. Take them to a store with a sign that says, "We use Kodak paper for a good look." Because they know Kodak paper can help make your pictures look their best. Turn your moments into memories and get them developed soon wherever you see the Kodak paper sign.
Orbit sugar-free gum gives you a cool, refreshing taste that's out of this world. A taste people really like. Listen.
Orbit tastes great. That's why I always chew it.
Orbit is my favorite because it's cool and refreshing. Hey, I really like Orbit, too.
My whole family loves the taste of Orbit sugar-free gum. It's delicious. And besides, it's made with only natural sweeteners.
Try Orbit sugar-free gum for a cool, refreshing taste that's out of this world.
Mike Lum, our star of the game tonight, was, we mentioned, Mike with his 4th home run of the year and the 5th inning to give the Reds their 2 runs, and they hold up for the 2-1 victory. And Mike, a 2-1 win over the Giant Ball Club, the way they've been going. They haven't been going that good of late, but still they're a very dangerous ball club. You look at the last inning, the people they sent up, you had to shiver just a bit.
Definitely. You know, they the ball club is, well, about a week ago, they really hadn't been playing that good a ball, but I guess when you're in first place and with a lot of young kids and they're very aggressive, and, you know, when you're in that position, you play, I think, a little harder than clubs that might be 15 games back, but they're getting their base hits in clutch situations, and they're playing hard.
Mike, have you talked to your buddy in New York lately?
Yeah, I talked to him about 4 days ago, and I feel pretty good tonight.
You know, we always talk about the ball game, and certainly tonight a doubleheader. The Reds are splitting their 3rd doubleheader of the year, and I guess really, well, a split is next to winning both of them, and that we certainly were hoping for that as we started this evening.
Well, you know, we lost the first game, and we needed to win that second game awfully bad, and you know, like I said before, you just can't afford to lose to this ball club.
Mike, you've taken up a new hobby, and I know Marty and myself, we've mentioned it during the course of a broadcast, and you got some of the guys a little mystified with your new hobby.
Yeah, it's I do a little magic, and it's a lot of fun. It's entertaining to the guys, and I enjoy doing it, and you know, it's nice to you know, sit around at breakfast table or dinner table, and you can get the waitresses over or the waiters over, and you kind of show them a little magic, and you get a little better service.
Yeah, but the hotel keys, I just wonder if the people in the hotels enjoy that little caper.
Well, there's a magic trick that I do that it's a key bending trick. You put a key under the towel or a handkerchief, and when you take the handkerchief away, it's bent. And the only key that we have on the road are hotel keys, and some of the guys did have to go back and get an extra hotel key.
You won't do it with do you use ignition keys?
No, I don't like to, but the other night I did use someone's house key, and I told them make sure that it's a key that they don't have to use. Well, they said that it doesn't matter. So, and then the next night they were sitting in the stands, and they did show me the bent house key.
Well, Mike, tonight, as we say, your 4th home run, and you're over the 300 mark, and really swinging the bat extremely well, and you've played probably more at this time this year than you have in the past since you've been with the Reds.
Yeah, I think it is, and the only reason is because of the injuries on the ball club, and it just, you know, Chief Geronimo is a fine ball player, and I just hope he hurries to get back in the lineup because he's a super defensive ball player, and you know they've won with those 8 guys out there in 75, 76, so you know, you got to go with them.
Well, tomorrow's another night here at the ballpark. We got the count going, and we've had fairly good success with Montepusco.
Well, it's just you know, he's a tough pitcher. He'll challenge you at the plate, and we just got to go out there and battle him and just hope for the best.
Mike, congratulations on a big hit.
Thank you very much.
Mike Lum, our star of the game, and Mike with a 2-run homer in the 5th inning, his 4th home run of the year, and the Reds go on to win it by a score of 2-1 over the Giants, and thus the split of the doubleheader. That's it from here in the dugout. Now on most of these same stations, stay tuned for Marty Brenneman with scores and comments. Tomorrow night, the 3rd of the 4-game series, starting at 7 o'clock. And until then, this is the old left-hander rounding 3rd and heading for home. Good night, everyone.
This has been Star of the Game on Zebra 100 with your host, Joe Nuxall on WRMZ.
All across our land, people know our brand. Get the camera turned closer, Rodney. I must get a close-up of this remarkable beast. Closer, closer. Get us out of here, Rodney. You can trust AC. Thanks, AC.
Peel out of Banana Land with the Hot Plug AC. AC spark plugs give quick starts, smooth power, and if you need a tune-up, AC spark plugs can help restore good gas mileage. Go with the hot one, AC Fire Ring Spark Plugs. You'll be thankful you did.
When you want to go, where the name to know.
Great concert, Ricky. There's a mob out back. Quick, into the car.
Get me out of here. You can trust AC. Thanks, AC. Spark plugs by AC. Firing spark plugs by AC. Firing spark plugs by AC. Firing spark plugs by AC.
And now, scores and comments on WRMZ. And your host, Marty Brenneman.
Hello again, everybody. Back at Riverfront, where tonight 51,163, the largest crowd here at Riverfront Stadium since opening day, saw the two clubs play one-run decisions. The Giants won the first game 7-6, but Cincinnati came back on the fifth-inning home run by Mike Lum and the fine pitching from Bonham and Bear to subdue the Giants 2-1 in the nightcap. In the American League, things look like this. As we mentioned earlier, the big story took place in Milwaukee, where Yankee left-hander Ron Guidry suffered his first loss of the year after 13 consecutive victories, as left-hander Mike Caldwell, the former Cincinnati Red, limited the Yanks to 4 base hits, while Milwaukee had 2 home runs from Larry Heisel and 1 from Sixto Lezcano to beat the Yankees and Guidry 6-0. 6-10-0 for the Brewers, who snapped a 4-game losing streak. No runs, 4 hits, and no errors for New York. Caldwell ran his record to 9-5. And the home runs in the game, Heisel hit a 3-run homer, his 16th, came back with a solo shot, his 17th of the year, and Lezcano hit one out in the 8th inning with the bases empty, his 12th of the season. They had 40,210 in Milwaukee for that one. The Kansas City Royals scored 3 times in the 5th, and behind the pitching of Paul Splittor's 4-hitter, made that stand up for a 3-1 victory over Baltimore. 3-10-1 for Kansas City, a run, 4 hits with an error for the Orioles. Splittor 10-7 the winner. Scott McGregor 8-8 the losing pitcher. In other games at the end of 5.5 innings of play in Cleveland, the Boston Red Sox lead the Cleveland Indians by a score of 5-4. Boston scored 3 in the first inning, but Cleveland has come back with a run in the second, 2 in the fourth, and 1 in the fifth, while Boston got single runs in innings 4 and 5. It's 5-4 Boston after 5.5 innings of play. The end of 8 full in Chicago, the Toronto Blue Jays lead by a score of 3-2 over the White Sox. Rico Carty and John Mayberry have hit Toronto home runs in the 6th inning. Carty's 12th, Mayberry's 14th. Detroit, a big lead over the Texas Rangers, 10-2 at the end of 6, and oddly enough, no home runs have been struck in that game. While Minnesota, in the first of 2 out in Oakland, leading the A's 1-0 at the end of 7. California, 2-0 over Seattle at the end of 1. At the Big A in Anaheim, Dick Pohl against Frank Tanata, and Tanata going after his 12th victory of the season. Once again, the American League Finals, Milwaukee behind Caldwell shuts out the Yankees and hands Ron Guidry his first loss, 6-0. Kansas City defeats Baltimore 3-1. We'll be back to take a look at the National League in just a moment.
Orbit sugar-free gum gives you a cool, refreshing taste that's out of this world. A taste people really like. Listen.
Orbit tastes great. That's why I always chew it.
Orbit is my favorite because it's cool and refreshing. Hey, I really like Orbit, too.
My whole family loves the taste of Orbit sugar-free gum. It's delicious. And besides, it's made with only natural sweeteners.
Try Orbit sugar-free gum for a cool, refreshing taste that's out of this world.
Look at this. This is JCPenney.
And this is the Great White Sale, with every sheet in every JCPenney store on sale now. All at great prices, like twin-size muslins from $1.99 or twin percales from $2.99. You'll find great buys on bedding, even our thick towels, plus draperies, too. All in our Great White Sale now.
This is JCPenney.
Turning now to the National League, a final has just come in from Houston. The Dodgers defeat the Astros 7-4, 7-13-1 for Los Angeles, 4-6-0 for the Astros. Winning pitcher Doug Rauch 9-4, loser Mark Lemongello 7-8. Home runs in that game. The Dodgers hit 2. Dusty Baker hit a big seventh inning home run with a man on base, his 6th of the year, to send the Dodgers out in front 5-4. And then Joe Ferguson turned the tables on his former club, the Astros, by smashing his 9th homer in the Dodger 8th inning with the bases empty. Jose Cruz hit his fourth with a man on for the losing Astros. So that Dodger victory means that L.A. now occupies second place all by itself in the West. They trail the Giants by 2.5, and the Reds, by dividing the twin bill tonight, remain 3 back of San Francisco. Another final, Atlanta over San Diego 11-3. Winning pitcher Mickey Mailer 3-4. Loser Gaylord Perry 9-4. 11 runs, 15 hits, with no errors for the Braves. 3-7-2 for San Diego. Home runs in that game, the Braves hit 2. Roland Office a 3-run homer, his 8th. Rookie third baseman Bob Horner a 2-run homer, his 3rd of the season. One more final in Montreal over Philadelphia 7-4 before a 45,000 plus at Veterans Stadium tonight. 7 runs, 15 hits, and no errors for Montreal. That club snapped a 3-game losing streak. Philadelphia 4 runs, 11 hits, and no errors. Steve Rogers the winner, 11-7. Dick Ruthven the loser, 5-8. Montreal hit 3 homers. Cromartie had his 3rd, Valentine his 13th with 1 on, Carter his 7th with the bases empty. While Philadelphia got a 21st of the year from league leader Greg Luzinski, and a solo home run also from shortstop Larry Boa in the 9th inning, his 2nd of the season. Pittsburgh and the Cardinals. St. Louis batting in the bottom of the 9th inning, trailing the Pirates by a score of 2-1. The St. Louis run coming in the 1st inning on Gary Templeton's 2nd home run of the season. And the Chicago Cubs and the New York Mets are in the 9th inning at Shea Stadium, and that is a 7-7 lockup. Larry Cox, a 3-run homer for the Cubs, his 2nd of the year. Willie Montañez blasted 1 out with 2 on for the Mets, his 12th home run of the season. Once again, the final scores from National League play. Atlanta over San Diego 11-3. The Dodgers defeat the Houston Astros 7-4, and Montreal knocks off Philadelphia 7-4. We'll be back to recap the 2nd game Cincinnati victory when we continue in just a moment.
Orbit sugar-free gum gives you a cool, refreshing taste that's out of this world. A taste people really like. Listen.
Orbit tastes great. That's why I always chew it.
Orbit is my favorite because it's cool and refreshing. Hey, I really like Orbit, too.
My whole family loves the taste of Orbit sugar-free gum. It's delicious. And besides, it's made with only natural sweeteners.
Try Orbit sugar-free gum for a cool, refreshing taste that's out of this world.
Look at this. This is JCPenney.
And this is the Great White Sale, with every sheet in every JCPenney store on sale now. All at great prices, like twin-size muslin from $1.99 or twin percales from $2.99. You'll find great buys on bedding, even our thick towels, plus draperies, too. All in our Great White Sale now.
This is JCPenney.
Well, the kind of pitching we saw in the 2nd game tonight was really the kind we had looked forward to seeing in the 1st game. But, of course, that was not the case. Vida Blue and Tom Seaver both had a rough go of it, and neither around at the finish. In fact, neither one was able to get really past the 6th inning as the Giants hung on to win that game despite a late Cincinnati rally 7-6. The 2nd game, pitching was the name of the game as Bill Bonham and Doug Baer combined to hurl the Reds to a 2-1 victory, and Mike Lum, our star of the game tonight, hit that decisive 5th inning home run after Dave Concepcion had opened with a base hit, and they provided the Cincinnati runs that won it. San Francisco was being shut out 2-0 going to the 7th when Marc Hill had a base hit, and Dave Concepcion, taking the throw back from the infield, threw wildly at first base, trying to get Hill coming back into the bag, and the ball going into the dugout, and Hill was awarded third base. He later scored on a Bill Bonham wild pitch, but later on in the inning, the Giants were able to load the bases with 2 down. After Darrell Evans got a base on balls to fill him up, Sparky Anderson brought on Doug Baer. He struck out Mike Ivie on a 3-2 pitch. Looking, Ivie, incensed over the call by Eric Gregg, was quickly thrown out of the ball game. The Giants went out in order in the 8th inning. In the 9th inning, Vic Harris got a leadoff walk and moved to second on a bunt by Terry Whitfield, but McCovey lined softly to Concepcion, and Jack Clark ended the game with a fly ball to Lum in center field.
I joined that.